Hi everyone, it is time to continue to work on this journal for the Alani's Dream digital kit that was created by our very own TinaLovesToCraft here on YouTube. Of course, everything that I am talking about today will be in my description box down below. If you saw my first part of my process on how to put the cover together, this is the cover that we did together on my last video. There goes the gaps, and I'm still not 100% happy with those, but when I did line my cover, I don't know if you can see in there, it does go down just a little bit, just to give it a finished edge, and also reinforces the edge. So as you're pulling in and out, it gives it added strength. So I did frame. I used this green on the inside as well as the outside. On the outside, I laid this paper from the digital kit. I absolutely love this. And I did wrap it around. And I did this digital image with the leaves in the back and the handwriting. And then I overlaid the green on top of it. And then where it met, I used this this jute ribbon. I got it from Dollar Tree. It's around here somewhere. Comes on a 3 different designs, but that's what I used to hide the seam. On the inside, I laid the green down first, and then I took this pattern all the way to the edge, all the way to the edge. And I actually used 2 sheets because I wanted 2 different images on opposite ends, and I just wanted to highlight different parts of the paper. So that's my cover so far. And I kind of put some signatures together. So we're gonna, this is the kit. As I've been working through it, I'm just gonna put this to the side. And I absolutely knew that when I saw this pretty little girl, that she was gonna be the cover of one of the signatures. So this is, I'm thinking of a 2 signature book. And I didn't do this double-sided, but I did do this one double-sided. And I'm thinking of gluing these together and creating a pocket as part of the signature cover. So that's why that's like that. And then I just took some tie-dyed paper out of my stash that I thought coordinated with the colors in the kit. And this is in no particular order right now. I just kind of grabbed some sheets and alternated and put some stuff in here. I like the grunginess. I like when they're imperfect. And then I have the center, and I was thinking of doing exactly the same thing, creating 2 more pockets. And if I don't do it this way, I might do it this way. So that's that one. And then for this one, of course, I wanted to highlight the beautiful young lady here. And same concept of gluing these 2 together and creating a pocket. And I don't know if I'm going to keep that purple because there is no purple in here. But there's some yellows. I did find this sheet of paper that I had in my stash that I stained with coffee. And then I figured I might add some of these as well. Found those in my stash just to have different heights. And again, the same concept using this one. So that's what I have so far. And I know I overthink stuff, and I know that I tend to, I don't know, I work better when everything is systematic. So, I know I don't want this purple. So, I'm going to put that to the side. And I did grab some other stuff. Let's see, I want to replace that one. Maybe I'll use a pink. There's no pink in there. And I let my papers dry naturally. However they land is how they land. So sorry if I'm off frame, I'm just folding this in half. Okay. And let's see how I'm gonna want this. So these are subtle colors. I think I'm gonna put that like that. I think I'll do that. I think I'll break up the monotony here and use that. And then go like that. And then maybe in here, I'll add that, that, and that. So now I think my pink is too ahead. And I think what I want to do is have this complement. There goes Loki. He's saying hello, like always. I think I want this one closer to this one. All right, so I think I'm happy with that. Okay, 7. And then 1, 3, 4. Let's put you there. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so look at that. Without even trying, it's even. All right, so I think what we're gonna do next, I wanna put these covers together and get my thumb notches in. So because these are my signature covers, I think what I'm gonna do is add the enclosure, the thumb notch on the top. But before I do that, I want to get these together. So right now, I'm just going to get them together in the center. And the reason why I'm doing that is because, like anything else, when you fold, the next piece on the inside pushes the outside piece pushes your inside piece a little further out, and as you keep sticking in, your edges are going to be off. So I just want to make sure that is secure in place, and then I can come and do the bottom. So we're going to do that there. Let me just open this up. Okay, and then I'm going to come and do this one on the bottom. Just a little bit of glue. This is, what am I using? All right, glitter glue, and we all know a little goes a long, long way. And then I really think I am going to, I think before I decide, I'm gonna wait until I'm ready to trim my papers so I can see where I'm gonna glue, and I can always make that decision later. So that's that one. Let's do this one. And again, I'm gonna go down the center. Oops, sorry about that. I'm gonna go down the center here. And I'm gonna nest this one right inside of it. A nice crease there so it can catch. Okay. And then I'm going to come along the bottom. A little bit of glue. And then give it a nice press. Okay. And then we're going to do the same on this side. And then again, I'll wait until I'm ready for the other side. And then I can trim everything together. All right. So there we have it. There goes that. And let me just glue this up because this dries fast. And I'll decide later on. All right, so those are the two signatures that are going to fit in here. And of course, I'm going to trim this so it's slightly inside my cover. But this is what it's looking like. So I'll have a nice little border all the way around. There and there. And then for the elements, I did fussy cut some stuff. Oh, I got to do the center ones. We'll come back and do that. And I was thinking I want this one on this cover, but I think it's a little big. And although the decorative edge is very pretty, I think I'm just going to fussy cut around here and just keep the main image. And if you've been with me for a while, you know I don't really like fussy cutting too much, but I'm getting better at it. I'm working through it, and I'm actually enjoying it now. Okay, so this I'm going to take right to the edge, right here. And I'm going to come around his little branch here. And if you don't know, the trick of it is to move your paper, not your scissors. I learned that the hard way. Okay, and I'm going to come around his tail or her tail. And we're going to come up, and I think I want the branch. So I'm going to come around there. And, yep. I have been so overwhelmed with the new location that I'm at. You guys all know I work at Barnes & Noble, and my position there is inventory commercial support, which means that all the books that are sold, I make the decisions for my stores if they will get it back, how many they will get back, and I look at trends, and I look at merchandising, and I look at placement and strategy. Sorry about that. Placement, strategy, community, demographics, all that good stuff. And before I did that position, I was an assistant store manager for quite a number of years, and a store manager in the city for a number of years. And the higher up you go, the less you interact with people and the less you interact with customers. And I realized that I didn't want to do that, because I got into retail because I enjoy talking to people and meeting new people and having conversations. And this position now still allows me to do that, and allows me to work with store teams and all that good stuff. So we've been taking a deep dive into the store and moving stuff around and making it all look pretty. And it's really, really fun to see how the store transforms. But man, oh man, my body is not used to it. I have not worked so hard in quite a while. And yeah, this little chickie here has been coming home extremely tired. I haven't picked up a paper. I haven't crafted during the week. I find myself only doing it on my days off now. And yeah, I'm falling behind. I'm not in my happy place, and I'm going to be there the better part of next month as well. It was supposed to be for a month, but I think this is going to go a little longer, because we're doing a lot of training and developing and deep diving, and the holidays are right around the corner, and I think this store can do so much more and be so successful if I just take the time to be with them. So what I'm going to come in here and do is just hole punch these little markings that Tina lovingly put there for us. And I know my holes are a little bigger than what she marked, but this is the only size of a hole punch I have. And then I am also trying to make sure that I am as lined up as I possibly can, and in the middle. So I am actually very surprised at myself that looks pretty decent. I was afraid to put it out there in the universe, because you know how that goes, right? The minute you say something, it goes south. Let me not get too confident. because I went up a little bit on that one. But we're gonna distress it as best we can. Okay. And then I'm gonna come in with my ruler. I really, really, really should have my glasses on, guys. I don't have my glasses on. And we're gonna come in and cut a line there, and we're gonna come up on this one and turn it around. Actually, let me stay where I'm at and just do these coming up. So we have that one, and I printed these out on 65-pound cardstock. I had to feel the paper, sorry about that. I'm trying to use what I have and not go out and buy any more paper unless I have to. And what I find is, and it's, you probably all think the same thing, is that if you don't use them, they will turn colors on you, especially lighter colors, or get discolored along the edges, and I don't want to run the risk of that. So here goes that one, and then as evenly as I can. And there goes that one, and then poor Loki. I hope the barking doesn't bother you guys. He is a Morkie, and it's a Yorkie trait. That they bark. Barking is their thing. It really, really is. In the beginning, he used to startle me, but now I hear a little noise and I expect him to bark, and I actually look at him like, "Are you okay? You didn't bark." But we are trying to break him out of it. All right, so that's what I have so far, and I think this is really going to look cute once I distress the edges right in here. And I think I am going to back this up on some, on what, Dahlia? What are you going to back it up on, girl? I was thinking of using an envelope which is doubled. Take it to the edge, maybe. What do I got on this side? That's not gonna work. Because of the window, it's not going to work. All right, so we'll just get some, ooh, book page. Oh, I have this one. Let's see. It's just to be able to give it the contrast, and I think that might work. How would it look with words? No, okay. I think this is going to be it. So let's see. Actually, yeah. See if I can go figure out at least that corner. This I don't need anymore, so let me get that out the way because my space is very limited. And we're just going to cut across as straight as I can. I don't worry too much about what's back here because this is hiding behind the bird. I just want to give a beginning edge here. Okay. And my piece, I am going to glue all of it down, just down the sides here and here and here, and leave the centers open. So yes, up here, because I want it to stick to the paper. And then just down the sides here, down here, there, up along, and yeah, that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I think I almost messed it up. You saw me? Okay, and I don't know why I glue behind here because I don't need that right now. And then we're just gonna get this in. I don't know if you can hear that noise, if my mic picks it up, but I am doing laundry while I'm crafting because you know what, guys? Life goes on. So now that gives me this pocket, this one coming down, this one, and this one for my taller items. And then I'm just gonna give it a haircut. So I hope you guys are doing well. I don't know if you guys have seen my previous video when I shared the kit. This is a 38-page kit that Tina is offering up, and the link is in my description box where you can purchase this kit. I believe she even introduced another kit, Go Tina. That one's in blues, and it looked like blues and purples. Very pretty. I believe, if I recall correctly, it's called Blossom. And she's just doing an amazing job putting these kits together. So I think I'm going to want that there. I think that looks really good there. What do you guys think? Maybe a little higher up. Yep, I think that will go there. I feel like it needs something in the back, like it's losing itself. Let me see what else we have in this kit. Oh, she has these big postcards now. And she has these big journaling tags. But, no. I think I'm gonna go around the edges again. Before I glue it down. I just want to watch our time because I don't want this to be too long. I can always break it up in additional parts. Yeah, I think it just needs a little bit more darkening around the edges. Inky fingers. I got to remember that so I don't touch something I'm not supposed to. Okay. I think that looks better. I feel like I need, what do I have here? What do I have that I can use? What's this? Okay, I'll use this. I want to ink the edges in here, so I'm going to come around this way. I'm going to get those edges. I think I'm going to do this one. Do I want to do the top? I think I do. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me. Should I do the top part there? I think I should. Everything looks more intense when you do the edges. It just, let's see. Sorry. I think I am. I can't do that one. That was brilliant, Dahlia. Can I get it this way? I think I can. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's better. And all this inking is optional. It just adds a little bit more aesthetics for your eye. But I think the extra step that you take in the end pays off. So I think that looks so much better. Yep. I think it does, and I think I'm gonna glue that there. And I can always embellish a little something here. Yeah, so let's commit and let's glue that down. Now the other stock pocket that Tina provided in the kit is larger, and I saved that one for the back. Okay, let's grab you, let's slide you. And I want enough space on the bottom that if I want to do a little cluster, I can. Now I opted to glue it all the way down because I have a lot going on. I have a pocket here. I could have left the top open, have another pocket in the back, but I think these 5 pockets would be enough and not add too much bulk. So here is the other pocket, and this one is bigger, and I thought this one would be a great one for the back as well, just cutting off the lace and fussy cutting around. So I can do that off camera. Now I did play with some of the ephemera, and I inked around most of the edges, and also added, well, these are belly bands, so I have that. I added coffee dyed paper in the back on most of them, but just to play around, I think I might want that there. And I like contrasting colors. I want the flowers to show. I might add that one there. That's too tall. So if I add this one here, and then take this one and slide it up, I think that'll look cute there. And then I can make some other ones. Yeah, some hearts. And it looks cute. All right, so let me slide the ephemera pieces off to the side. And I did all these sitting, watching TV, just fussy cutting away and inking. And before I knew it, I was done. How cool is that? I'm gonna hold on to that. I know I wanna use these on my pages and my belly band. I had some thoughts for these. These are double-sided, so let me put that off to the side. The same for these. This is a large tag. This is a large tag. This might be too large for the front, but it'll be perfect for the back. And then I love this little girl. These are too big. Okay, so we got corners. We got envelopes. We got pockets. Okay. All right, so that'll get me started there. So let me put this off to the side. And let me put this off to the side and this off to the side. And we're gonna work on the first book. So I think in here, I wanna start with, I can start with a corner pocket. It also leaves room to write, and you can write here. Do I want it on this side? No. I think this will make a perfect side tuck. So I'm gonna leave that one there. And this is my personal preference. I mean, this is really pretty and decorative. I might not even add anything on here because it can be used, you can write here. But I think I am gonna add something just because this will be the page that I leave blank to write, as well as this one. this can be my break, and then I'll leave this one alone. I'll add something here, which could be maybe this cutie right here. We'll add a tag, right? And then I'll leave these alone. And then maybe here I can add, no, I don't want that there. I can add, this is an envelope. Maybe I'll attach that there. Or maybe not. No, I'll stick this in a pocket. Let's see, the decisions. So many decisions. Did I add a corner tuck? No, I did not. So maybe that'll be there. Maybe here I'll add a side tuck there. I'll come up with something here. Maybe add that as a flap. That will look cute. I'm going to leave that there for now. And then maybe on this side, I have these smaller ones that I can create maybe a little pocket. And then I'll leave this alone, that alone. Then I have this one. You know, they always tell you use contrasting colors, but I can't help it. I like my colors to match. And then I'll leave that alone, and then I'll figure something else out with this. And then back here, what do I have going on? I think back here I can add, leave that one alone, maybe a belly band. I have this one here, and I'll just trim it down. I don't know if that's the best one. I think this is the better one. Yeah, I think that's the better one. And then maybe how's that one? Let's see. So I don't want to make it really bulky, because by the time I add the tags and stuff, it's going to be crazy. So maybe not that there. Maybe just a corner tuck here. Yeah, I think that would be good there. And then maybe I'll use the pocket on this side. And then maybe, let's see, I did that there. I think for her, I'm gonna do something decorative. That'll be a pocket there. And I think on this side, I'll do a flip on the back side. Yeah, as a surprise, and do something decorative there. So I'll leave that alone. That'll be my busy page. I'll leave this one alone. And then I have the belly band going on here. So I'll leave these alone. And I can always add stamping images there. And I think maybe here I'll do maybe a top tuck as a decorative. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll leave that alone. Okay, so that's the strategy for that. I haven't committed to anything yet because I want to make sure I have enough for both. And of course I have more tags and envelopes. Okay, so what did I do here? Okay, so here I added a tuck so that can stay there. And here I go, you know, I have to be, I think this is interesting to write on. I think this will look cute here. Okay, leave that alone. Something here. Again, I can do something decorative. Oh, that actually looks very pretty right there. And then on the back side, I can create a pocket. Do I have another small one? No. Yes, I did. Oh, and this one has pink, so that'll be good there. And then I'll leave that alone. This will be something else. Okay, that's my middle. And then I'll do something here. Let's add a belly band. I think there's a good, yeah, add the belly band there. And then this can be a corner tuck. I have it stick off the edge a little bit. Leave that alone. And then on this side, we can have a bottom tuck. And then, let's see what I got. What I got. What else do I have? Actually, maybe this one. I'm sorry. Like I said, I overthink stuff. That'll be my bottom tuck there. And then maybe here I can add that. And then maybe on this side. Okay, that's gonna go there. Maybe here. We can add that one. All right, I think I'm ready to commit. What do you guys think? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue these bad boys down, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like once they've all been put together. All right, so this is what I have so far. I committed to everything that we walked through. Okay, so we're flipping through. Here's the side pocket. Now I did leave myself room on the edge because I know I'm gonna trim off a little bit. If it happens to be a little too much aesthetically, I can always add some ribbon, some trim to cover that. This is going to be holding a tag, and of course I still have to mat these, but let me put that in there. Start filling some of these pockets. I left these alone, but I think I want to add some of these ephemera pieces because I really like the way the other one looked. And or I can add this as a flip, but I won't be able to do that until I trim the page. But I like that, and it gives me an opportunity to use these big postcards. Or I can use this one, back it up, and then have it. I think I'm gonna do that. I actually like that. And I also have these. These are full-size pages that I printed. I downsized them, and I had something else in mind for them, but I think a couple of these I can actually use as additional writing spots. I'm not sure about that one, but I do like this one here, so that's going to stay there, and I have these as well. And this is my green book. Okay, Okay, so I have a pocket there, or I can use these as giant large journaling tags. I think that might be a little too tight. Let's see. I think that might be a little too tight. I can use this one. Okay. What else do I have here? This big one and this big one. Okay. I'm going to leave that one there for now. This is a small one. So I think I might want to make something for that. Here is a tuck spot. I think that might be too big. Let's do, oh, that's pretty. I'm just gonna go against that. Maybe just keep it like that. And these are the ones that go inside the envelopes, but I like them to use them as decorative pieces. I did seal the center there. I have another large tuck spot there. Maybe I'll use a tag for this one. Okay, this is going to be a decorative piece, and then I had these clips, so I just used that to hold her there. This is a belly band, and this is going to hold my envelopes and some loose pieces of paper. Okay, I have an upper spot. Does that fit? I'm not sure because I didn't glue all the edges. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do some lace and stuff underneath here. Maybe trim it down just a little bit, just a hair. Oh, it's almost the same size. I like the way it goes with the green. And then that's the end of the first signature. And then the second signature, we have a side tuck. Did I put anything in this one? No, I didn't. Dahlia, what are you doing? Let's add some blue. No, I think the green. Let's put, we can use these big pieces in here. And then I can add something else smaller on the top. And then on this one, I think we can go with this one. No, I think I love this one better. It's more subtle. And then I can add, no, that's too big. Let's see, maybe this one. I might have to trim these down just a hair. Okay, I'm gonna leave you there. And then in here I have another pocket. I think I like the bird peeking out of there. And then here I have a side tuck. And I'm liking the blue. Is this overkill? Yeah, that might be overkill. No, let's do this one. No, it's still too much. Overkill. Okay, we'll stay with you. And then we have a small one there. This is the center. I glue this one together. And then another decorative piece will go here. And then we have that. This actual one might be a little cluster with the birds. I think that'll look cute there. The belly band. This I just, again, I wanted to, because it has rough edges, I wanted to trim it down first, but I wanted it to hang a little bit off the page, if that makes sense. Not too much, but just a little. And then I'll darken the areas that are hanging off. I think just adds extra interest. So right now I just have it clipped right there. Here can be another tag. And then this is the end. And that's it. Look at that. We put it all together. So my next one, my next process video will probably be sewing in the signatures once I cut my pages down. Unless you guys want to see that, let me know. I'll film it anyway, just in case. Maybe I'll share it. I don't know. Let's see what the dogs think. The dogs are the bosses nowadays. But that's what I have so far. And I think for a closure, I'm going to do eyelets with some trim. What do you guys think of that? Yeah. Awesome. All right. So that's what I have for you right now. As always, I'll catch you at the next one. Have a crafty afternoon. Bye.